Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you a scenario based question which you can face in DevOps or SRE interview. This is a scenario based question which is asked in many of the companies. They try to get to know if you have real time experience in capacity planning. So I'm just going to give you a demo of an answer that you can form. And in the end, I'll tell you some of the extra cross question which could be asked on this. So let's start. So the question is, tell me about a time when you had to deal with capacity planning challenge that threatened service availability. So remember, you have to say it in star formats. That's preferred in most of the companies, especially when you go for very big tech companies. So you can say like this. Absolutely. Let me tell you about a situation where we were 3 weeks away from a database disaster during our busiest shopping season. It taught me that good capacity planning isn't just about adding more resources, but it's about understanding why you need them. So let's see first our situation. So you can say something like, I was working as an SRE or DevOps at an e-commerce company. If you do not have worked in e-commerce, then you can say that we were working for a client that was an e-commerce company. So company and your analytics team launched a new recommendation engine. Within weeks, I noticed something alarming. In our matrix, our primary Postgres database disk usage has jumped from 68% to growing at 12% per week. That's six times our normal growth rate. I did a quick calculation and realized we had less than 3 weeks before running out of disk space. And here's the problem: Black Friday was a 4 weeks away. Running out of storage on our primary database during peak shopping season would be catastrophic. We are talking millions in lost revenue. So that would be a situation. The task would be, I had multiple objectives. First, obviously prevent the database from filling up. Second, figure out why this was happening, because just adding storage without understanding the root cause would mean this problem would come back. Third, make sure we were ready for Black Friday with its 8x traffic spike. And I had to do all this in under 3 weeks. So that becomes your task. For action, you can say something like, I started digging into the data. I queried our database matrix and found one table had exploded from 50 gigs to 280 gigs in a single week. That's when all the growth was coming from. Turns out the analytics team had misunderstood the data retention requirement. They were logging every user interaction at really high granularity and keeping everything indefinitely instead of aggregating older data like they should have been. So within first 3 weeks, I worked with them to fix this. I implemented proper data aggregation, keeping 7 days of raw data and aggregating everything older into summary tables. That's one change dropped the table from 280 gigs to 95 gigs. Our disk usage went from 68% to 52%, just brought ourselves breathing room. So my next action was, but I didn't stop there because I also needed to prepare for Black Friday. I calculated that with 8x traffic, we would need about 1.8 terabytes total by season end. So I scheduled a storage expansion from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte. Then I focused on making sure this never happens again. I set up comprehensive capacity monitoring with graduated thresholds. For example, 70% for warning, 85% for critical alert. But this key thing I added: an abnormal growth rate alert. If any resources started growing faster than twice its historical average, we would get alerted immediately. That's that's why we would catch issues like within days, not weeks. I also ran load tests simulating 8x traffic and actually found another bottleneck. Our connection pool was set too low. Fix that before it could bite us during actual event. And then you can take a pause. And I created a runbook documenting the whole process so anyone on call should know exactly what to do if we had capacity issue during the holiday season. Okay, let's come to the result. So what happened? We handled the Black Friday perfectly. Actually hit 9.2x normal traffic, even higher than we forecasted, with zero capacity related incident. But the impact went beyond just that one event. By fixing the data retention bug instead of just adding storage, we saved about $4,000 per month in ongoing storage costs. Our capacity related incident dropped from 8 per year down to 1, and that's abnormal growth rate. I alert I created. I caught 3 other issues in following months before they became critical. The most important result through was cultural. We went from reactive firefighting to proactive capacity planning. We implemented monthly capacity reviews, and other team in the company actually adopted our runbook and monitoring approach. So that was the result. Very important in the in the last, you can say something like the biggest lesson I learned for me was this: when you see a dramatic change in matrices like that CX 6x growth spike, that's a signal of dig deeper. We could have just thrown storage at the problem and moved on, but understanding the root cause saved us ongoing cost and prevented reoccurrence. Good capacity planning is as much above visibility and understanding pattern as it is about having enough resources. So this is all that you can say. I know it has been a long video, a long answer. They do not expect you to have such long answers, but as I said, if I'm planning to answer this, um, I won't remember each and everything. I would forget 50% of what I said. So what I do is I practice and practice and practice because I know I'll forget something. So that's fine. So practice for more so that even when you say less, that would be impacted. Now there will be extra questions, cross question asked on your answer. So for that, I have written a Medium post on this where I have provided in-depth um, question answer to this question, and along with it, I have extra question which could be encountered, and to those extra question what you can answer. So this was all. This was the first video. I'll be keep posting more videos on scenario based questions on SRE and DevOps topic. So stay tuned, subscribe so that you can get notification whenever I post a new scenario based question. And I'll try to make it as simple as possible for you to remember and say it in interview. And keep listening and keep practicing. Thank you.